Hello and welcome to my look at the opinion polls for December 2025. You can't see him, but I've got my cat Russell here as my teaching assistant. He's continually got a cold, so if you hear sneezing noises, that's where they're coming from. He might even make an appearance if we're very lucky. Okay, let's have a think about the polls for this month. I'm recording this less than a week after the budget, so we haven't yet seen the full impact of the budget on the polls, and who knows, we might not. Sometimes individual events don't have a massive impact. Sometimes it is more the cumulative effect of lots of issues, events that are going on in politics that have a major impact on the polls. But there is plenty to talk about still anyway. So let's take a look at them. This is the polling averages. The lines are the averages. The dots are individual poll results for each party. And going from the last general election to now. And I think the major movement here is between the Labour Party and the Green Party. The Green Party has shot up in the polls. It has continued to shoot up in the polls. I think last month it was around about the level of the Liberal Democrats, and now it has surged ahead of them. Labour were looking like they might drop below the Tories, and in some polls I think they have. But the average line is that they are just above the Tories. Reform beginning to dip. As I said last month, I think they've reached the maximum that they can, really. Allegations around Nigel Farage and racism continue. Whether that impacts his popularity remains to be seen. And I do think that the Greens are in a strange position now. Where do they go from here? Can they carry on this upward trajectory? If Labour start to do well again because of the budget or for any other reason, it seems unlikely, doesn't it? But you never know. You never know. I've got this feeling that Labour's actually going to enjoy a bit of a bounce. The budget hits a lot of people, but not just yet. A lot of the good stuff in the budget, or when I say good stuff, what I mean is things that people are going to think helps them, is going to help them pretty much straight away. And the sort of things that are going to make life harder for people kind of take place later, years later, might not ever happen. I think Labour's hoping that they will be in a position before the next election to reverse some of those tax rises as a little election, a little boost for the economy or for people just before the next election. But that remains to be seen. So first of all, I think Labour are going to enjoy a bit of a boost in the polls, and that will impact on the Greens, because I think the Greens are doing well partially out of disaffected Labour voters. The second thing that is a total unknown is the launch of Your Party, which is now officially called Your Party. When that is properly launched and pollsters are asking people how they would vote, and that's an option, we don't know if that's going to appear on here or not. And if it does appear on here, who does it take votes away from? Unknowns. You would imagine that it takes votes away from Labour and the Greens, and possibly the Liberal Democrats. Who knows? So there's a lot going on there that is more to do with the future than the last month, I think. So we need to look at something else to understand things in a different way. So let's take a look at Keir Starmer's rating as Prime Minister. And this is from YouGov. How well is Keir Starmer doing as PM? And this takes us from the beginning of his time to the present day. And as you can see, the general trend is that people think he's doing badly more than they think he's doing well, and that gap is widening. 73% of people saying he's doing badly as Prime Minister. Only 17% at the moment saying that he's doing well. The last figures came through on the 3rd of November, so in the next few days, we will have the latest figures and we will see whether there's a little bit of a bounce. It's interesting because there's so much speculation about him being replaced, and over the last few days, Rachel Reeves losing her job has been the focus of a great deal of speculation. He will need to try to keep her in position. And if you take a look through history and you look at when chancellors end up losing their jobs, it doesn't look good at times for prime ministers not long afterwards. So there is this idea that chancellors and prime ministers are entwined together and that their fates are closely related. There's also lots going on about, I've seen a lot of discussion on whether they even like each other, and there's certain tensions there. They're not friends, is what I'm reading. So that's interesting as well. But always the relationship between Prime Minister and Chancellor is very important. And I think it comes down obviously to popularity. It comes down to prime ministers wanting to show that they have made a difference. And you can't make a difference without money in politics. You can't do anything without money. So the relationship is a tense one because the Treasury always wants to spend less than the cabinet wants it to. Every cabinet minister has a whole load of things they want to achieve, and anything that needs to be achieved is going to be costly. And so you've got that tension there, and the Prime Minister is the head of the cabinet and wants to show that they've made a difference to the country. It's just a really interesting dynamic, and it's frustrating, I imagine. The Prime Minister needs them because losing your Chancellor suggests that you're not doing very well. Particularly if you lose a Chancellor just after their budget, which you've signed off on as well. So, we'll have to see how that pans out. I don't think that the public is quite as angry about the budget as the papers are. And the Conservative papers in particular are shrieking quite strangely about the budget. And I don't think many people are actually of that same view. Let's see how that pans out. Keir Starmer is not considered to be doing a good job, and that must be very frustrating. Just imagine how much time and effort being in government takes, and then to find that most people don't think you're doing it well. Tricky. You have to have a thick skin if you go into politics. And then let's take a look at this. This is the Shadow Cabinet League table from the Conservative Home website. They keep a running league table of who is the most popular Conservative frontbencher. And at the moment it's Robert Jenrick, who is Kemi Badenoch's chief rival for leadership. He was last year and he still is, really. He's got an approval rating of plus 59.7%, just ahead of Mel Stride, the Shadow Chancellor, and then Kemi Badenoch in third. So Kemi Badenoch is doing well, but it shows that Conservative members would not be unhappy if these top two took over from her, I guess. But she's not doing too badly. I mean, this is not a representative sample of the electorate at large. This is purely people who are invested in conservatism and the Conservative Party. Conservative Home website is not purely for Conservative Party members, it's for anyone who considers themselves a Conservative. But it is their polling of their readership. So this gives us an indication of how Conservatives feel about their party. Chris Philp in fourth, thinking of needing a thick skin in politics. I stood against Chris Philp in 2015, and my old enemy, there he is, 49.1% in the plus. So he's doing very well, and I have to say that 10 years ago I thought he would do well once he got into Parliament. That was his first election win. So there we have it. And there is still, of course, lots of speculation about Kemi Badenoch's future. I think at the moment she's safe. And I think she's safe because she's doing better at Prime Minister's questions. It's funny though, because how could she do badly against Keir Starmer right now? It's been a very difficult few weeks for Starmer with the speculation surrounding his position, the U-turns, the leaks about the budget. Lots of things have just kind of gone wrong. So you would imagine her to be doing well at PMQs. I think she could still do better, to be honest. There is, I think there's a problem for her in that she is often good about half of the time during PMQs. It's like if it was only 3 questions or 4 questions, she might be winning every week. But the fact that she's got 6 questions, she doesn't yet have the capacity, I don't think, to win a 6-question battle. I think that's what it is. It kind of peters out towards the end. But she is getting better. She's getting better. So we will see what happens. But there we have it. That's the polls for this month. There's lots more free stuff on my Patreon site. And you can also get lessons if you want them. And whatever you do, happy studying. See you next time.